This little area here, we will use that. Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. A long welcome back. To On Defense, the only sports podcast that you are allowed to listen to since we are back again after another long hiatus and trying to figure out new work schedules. Yeah. We have finally come together on a day to talk about sports. Roman, how you been?
Good, man. I mean, you know how I've been. We've talked pretty much.
It's for the people, Roman. It's for the people that don't understand that we play 2K till 2 o'clock in the morning every morning.
But no, man. Been good. A lot of Chiefs dubs. A lot of Celtics dubs.
A lot of Chiefs dubs.
But yeah, been good. Sorry to the people about our random, disappearing act. But trust me, it's not because we're not trying. It's just like he said, we have conflicting schedules or personal stuff. Like there was a week where we could have done it, but I picked up a shift and we couldn't do it then.
Trying to make money for his family.
Trying to make money for my family.
Because you guys aren't going to our Patreon enough and donate. We don't have a Patreon.
We should have a Patreon.
But y'all aren't giving us enough. Y'all haven't hit us up enough.
Copy and paste this on the Patreon. Say pay for our Patreon, and it's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll add 30 extra seconds of audio at the end. Seconds. And it'll be the best audio you've heard. You heard. The best audio. That's the best audio you heard here today.
But we got a banger today. We're going to recap the last 3 weeks of the NFL, chat some NBA. We won't go into deep because that's a long conversation to have. I got, we'll do probably the what if little segment that we did the last time. And then I got another segment that I maybe want to introduce this time around. But yeah.
Let's get rocking and rolling because unfortunately, just let everybody know, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode today. I have father duties. My kids have a wrestling match that I have to go to, so on a little bit of a time restraint here.
But it's fine. First thing we'll talk about is while we were gone, the Chiefs and the Panthers played.
They did play.
And holy shit.
What a game.
It didn't feel like a win.
What a game. It felt like a win for us. Dude, so I've been so happy these past 4 or 5 weeks. Bryce Young, let me tell you, has turned it around. He is making me believe he can be a decent starter, and I'm not thinking he's going to be MVP, but I'm not as worried as I was before. He's throwing in the middle of the field. He's not always dunking it down to his last option. He's making some really crazy pinpoint throws at times. So I'm really liking what's happening there. Our defense has really nobody on there besides J.C. Horn, but yet we're still playing good enough to keep our team in games, which I'm liking. And every game in the past 3 games have been one possession, the Panthers can win this game type of games that we ultimately lose. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
That's all you asked for at the beginning of the season. That's all you asked for.
That's all I asked for, was to be competitive. And what this does is it allows us to be fun and competitive while still not ruining what we really need, which is better players. So we need better draft picks. So I'm happy to lose as long as competitive. Hey, we're the favorite this weekend against the Cowboys.
I know
we're the favorite, baby. So maybe we win that game, and then we still are in the top 10, top 8 of the draft.
Yeah,
and we can maybe even draft. I'd be fine with trading back in the first, and getting a couple of good
more draft picks.
So I'm liking what the Panthers are doing. You're not liking what the Chiefs are doing, even though they're winning. It's very weird to hear this.
So no. The Panthers game was the one game that I just wanted us to win by double digits. All the other games are fine. Divisional, what was it, a divisional game that we almost lost? Yeah, the Chargers game, this last week Chargers game, we won by a doink field goal. That one, any divisional game, especially our division, which is seeming like one of the best divisions in football, which I didn't see coming this year. Bo Nix, Broncos, kind of surprising, but I'm falling off track. But I just was I was at work. I was working, I don't think you were, but I was watching the game on TV at work, and I was sitting there pacing, and they were everyone was well, you're winning. And I was just yeah, well, we should win by double digits. So if this game ain't a double-digit win, I'm not happy.
Hey, we were looking good on both sides of the ball.
Looking really good. There was Bryce Young seems to not only, like you said, make more accurate throws, better throws, more crazy, cool throws, we've kind of hoped or wanted him to do, but then he's also understanding the game of football more. There was it was your last drive before it was your last drive of the game. You're 15-yard line or so, and he throws it at Adam Thielen in the back of the end zone, and it's a pass interference. He threw that ball, and then afterwards they're pointing like this, Pace kind of seemed like they were communicating hey, if this happens, just throw it up and we'll try to get a flag. He's kind of understanding that.
This past weekend against the Eagles, we got a punt at the end of the fourth, and it was at the 2, and Bryce almost led a 98-yard touchdown.
What happened?
Xavier Legette dropped a wide open I'm talking. Like, he was wide open. Bryce led him a little bit, but it was definitely a catchable ball. Like Xavier had to lay out a little bit to get it, but it was like a rolling layout. So like he definitely could have caught it. Ball hit the ground though during the roll, and those were those games that I'm not going to blame Bryce for that. And he literally was moving in the pocket, making crazy throws. The game before that, when we played Tampa, he had some crazy throws. He had that really impressive throw to Adam Thielen, who had a one-handed catch on fourth down for us.
I saw
and then
that
the very
was
next
nice.
play is when Chuba fumbled, which sucks. I'm not really mad at Chuba. There's we missed a bunch of field goals that game. Eddie Pinheiro was missing a bunch, and there's things that could have happened that we should have just won the game outright. But it sucks that Chuba fumbled. But at the same time, Chuba's looking good. That 4-year contract we signed him to, I'm liking that, especially since our rookie running back that we drafted second round tore his ACL again.
Did he?
The same ACL that he already was out this whole year so far for.
He's like a J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, so he's out for God knows how long. I don't know why we drafted a running back
with having Miles Sanders and
second round. Like, we could have gotten Cooper Jazine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could have gotten other positions that we needed, and it just sucks that apparently he was very, very good, but we're not going to see anything out of him for another year or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a little disappointing.
I would like to go back through all our podcasts and freaking just clip and kind of like post somewhere like the evolution of Scooter and Bryce Young love. Like, for like just this clip, every time you say Bryce Young's name, I clip it. And I put it in a little monologue and all the way through till we're at this point right now where you're complimenting and giving him like the benefit of the doubt for certain things.
He's looking good. And and Dave Canales, every week I'm liking Dave Canales. I think that our team is just bad. We don't have
you have a lot of injuries on defense.
We have a lot of injuries on our defense.
And the fact that you're still in one possession games is awesome.
Yeah, and like
the best defense in the league.
I'm hoping
one possession games.
I'm hoping that this all can just go through. And the other thing I'm loving so much about this season is David Tepper is pretty much non-existent this year. I think that Bleacher Report just did a thing that talked about how off hands he's been. And I am so glad that he isn't a complete idiot and that he is a businessman and understands that maybe he was not the best for that type of thing and is just letting Dave Canales and do his thing and run the team that he needs to run to get us to play the way we need to. But I'm seeing culture. And I'm seeing, which I never felt was really happening with freaking Matt Rule or why can't I think of his name? He used to be the coach for the Colts. Now he was our coach last year. I can't think of his name though.
Frank something.
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich.
Yeah, like neither one of those guys seemed like they had culture, like a culture building there. Like,
and he's so handsome.
Yeah, and he's freaking handsome as hell. So that's great too.
He's a handsome, nice coach, good coach. Yeah, Panthers have been. I haven't hated when it's forced on my television.
We've been watchable, and that's all I was asking for. Our other rookie, JT Sanders, our tight end, he did have a head injury the other week, so I don't think he played last week. But him and Tommy Trimble are looking like they're going to be a nice 1-2. Tommy's more of a blocker but can catch. JT's more of the finesse, going out there and running routes guy, and I'm down for that. Like, I'm super excited for the next
future.
Few years of this,
and
as long as Bryce keeps improving.
Yeah, maybe next year Bryce will play some preseason games and really get a warm up before the season starts.
I think part of it was I don't know, maybe sitting and just watching Andy Dalton, like a quarterback, be like, "Hey, look, I'm doing it with this team. It's doable." Yeah. Like, you just have to trust your guys.
And
to do
sometimes it's a kick in the butt. Like he was the first overall pick. He always got like, "Hey, this is our future guy." And then, like, he's like never in doubt. Like, hey, you're gonna get benched because we don't think
he was
you're the
always
guy.
the best player on the best team.
Yes, and then he finally was like, they're like, hey, we're gonna bench you, and he's like, oh, so this job isn't promised. So just like a little kick in the butt to just get him like, oh, I need to step it up then, or I need to lock in, I need to really focus. I need to listen to Andy Dalton. I need to watch Andy Dalton, and I need to learn from that Red Rocket.
Yep, or the Red Rocket, baby.
But yeah, Chiefs. Voodoo magic.
Yeah, y'all got some voodoo magic that's going to come back and bite y'all in the ass in the playoffs.
We talked about it at a pre-podcast meeting. I was like, as long as the voodoo magic hits us next year, and not in 2025, but like the next season of the NFL. Yeah. So the start of the
next
season.
Year, 2025. Maybe the whole year's bad.
Not in the playoffs, please. But yeah, so there was this thing. It was one of the weeks I thought we were actually going to do the podcast. It was 11/29 when I bookmarked this on Twitter. Since week 8, I don't know if this is still true now because I think at least a week's passed, right? What is it? The 11th? So, yeah. At least a week has passed since this tweet. So I don't know if it's still true. But since week 8, the list of QBs with more TD passes than Patrick Mahomes, 0.
Oh, yeah.
So he's stepping it up. That's like the beginning of the season. Like, he was throwing a lot of interceptions. He's only thrown like 3 interceptions, I think, since like week 7 or 6 or something. So he's stepping it up. He's playing better. It's just now he's playing better. We're still not scoring in the red zone touchdowns, and our defense is somehow getting worse. At least, well, against the Bills. Last week it was actually pretty good. They only scored like 17 points. Against before the Bills, I'm pretty sure the Bills and the Panthers are the only 2 teams to score more than 25 points against us.
And that's Dave Canales,
and that's
baby.
That's a great company to be in, I mean. But, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the Chiefs so far. D-Hop has been a breath of fresh air at wide receiver. He's had 2 drops that I really didn't expect from a D-Hop type of player for the guy, that I think has like the least amount of drops after the last like 10 years or so. I don't know. But he's really...
he's getting older.
He is getting older, yes. But he's had some uncharacteristic drops. We got Pacheco back with Kareem Hunt, and that's beautiful. We've kind of gotten away from the run. Don't know why. Patrick Mahomes is now taking more sacks than he did when he was throwing interceptions. So I guess that's... I don't know what trade-off. Yeah, probably sacks, but like he had like 11 sacks for the first like 7 or 8 weeks, and now he has like 24 sacks or something he's taken.
Coaches are honing in on
our left tackle. Our tackles are bad.
The tackles are bad.
Both of our left tackles, we keep switching off, and we just signed a dude, DJ Humphreys, off free agency, and then he got injured last week. And so now it's either back to one of our bad tackles, or we had our tackle last year that we won the Super Bowl with. His name's Donovan Smith. He used to be left tackle for Tom Brady in Tampa. He was fine. He got a lot of holding penalties. That was like my main gripe about him. But
you know what, Patrick, you get hit too much though. So if you're getting holds over sacks,
our the sad part is our interior line might be the best interior line that you've seen in like the last few years. Like they are so fucking good, but our outside is so fucking bad. They get get holding penalties, or they get false start penalties, or they get I don't know. It sucks.
Seeing the Lions in the Super Bowl is going to be tough for you guys.
I know I honestly would be so excited for that matchup.
Yeah.
Because if it's like us and the 49ers or us and the Eagles again, everybody's going to hate that Super Bowl because it's just
nobody likes any of those teams.
I know.
All those
but
teams
at least
suck.
if the Chiefs make it and then like the Lions make it, it's like whoa. Like,
wouldn't it be fun to lose to the Lions though? Like, wouldn't that be the fun
that would be
team
the one team I would be fine with losing to that's out there right now.
But hey,
the Eagles would be one. Yeah, the Eagles would be one if Jason Kelce was still on the team, but he's not. So I don't give a fuck about the Eagles. So they can fuck off. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
But yeah, the NFL's been crazy. Joe Burrow and the Bengals kind of need a miracle to make the playoffs, even though he's playing awesome.
I feel so. I don't understand. Like looking at the stats of that team, like their offense is so good. They're number 1 in the league in scoring with 35 points a game, and somehow you average 35 points a game, and you've only won 5 games. 5 games now. You've only won 5 games. Like
the Chiefs went like 13-3 and scored 35 points a game, and we're giving up like 29 points a game.
Yeah, but I was saying like, you should be able to outscore.
You should be able to at least win more games than you lose. You'd think. But,
with an offense,
and they're going to lose T. Higgins in the offseason probably. So maybe Drake May in the Patriots.
But dude, Jamar Chase is looking like a stud, bro. He's always open.
Yeah,
he's always open.
He's good.
So if
he's like Tyreek Hill, except a little bit slower, but like way better at everything else.
Yeah, and I think if losing T. Higgins would suck for them, but I think they can find a guy that kind of does the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
they're number 80. I never know how to pronounce his name, but he's become like a nice slot receiver for them.
Andre something.
Yeah, he has like a weird last name, but yeah, he's pretty good. But yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. But offensively, their defense is a big issue. But
also in other news, just rattling off news that I care about. Bill Belichick.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
to the UNC I was gonna say Chapel Hill. Then I said Chapel Hill Tar Heels. I can't, dude. I'm up and down, right? So I'm excited. Bill Belichick, he's a winner. He knows how to coach stuff. The kids gotta want to play for him, right? Like he coached the GOAT, right? But then also,
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole, and he's very controlling about what he wants. And how many kids are going to want to like? That's the thing. Is like we will have to be so good. I think like it'll be because also Nick Saban was an asshole too, wasn't he? Like he was a hard ass. So like that type of style can work, but we have to come out and be good. Like we can't be mediocre finishing season 6-6 and then have Bill Belichick like telling kids they can't go out on Friday night. Like we have to be winning and doing like. So I'm interested, but it's gonna be a little crazy. And then also, there's the whole caveat of his son gets to take over after he leaves.
Oh, that's a caveat in his.
He wants to like they were calling it like a successor clause or something like that, where like his successor will be his son. Like
that's crazy.
Which, I mean, if he's good.
Before LeBron signed his last contract, Bronny James has to be the star of the team after I leave.
Yeah, after I leave, he has to play some.
He has to be the star.
So, excited about that. We'll see what happens in the future. No contracts have been signed, so that can always go sideways. And
I think I saw that like he's definitely going to be the head coach, but they're figuring out other details.
Yeah, because he apparently came in there with a 400-page like manifesto of like, this is how I'll run the program.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's crazy, dude.
So
I mean, I would be jumping for joy if he went to Kansas. I'd be like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm happy about it, and it's going to be a cool publicity. Everybody's going to be talking about Carolina. I bet you we get so many games, like so many televised games. We're going to get so many televised games.
It's going to be all over.
And let us go against Colorado. Like,
oh God,
Coach Sabers us is like,
dude, that'd be all over the place. But yeah, no, I'm interested because like how many college coaches can throw Super Bowl rings at you, let alone six Super Bowl rings?
The most
like
amount
the
of
most Super Bowl rings. Like not many college coaches can be just like don't have to say a word, just drop your rings on the table, and they might. A lot of them will probably just come. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and then the amount of just like who he can bring in, like that's the other thing I'm interested in is like who's his OC and his DC? Does he go out and get accomplished college coaches, or does he bring more NFL guys in?
Brian Kelly, what is that? Brian O'Kelly, Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien was like his OC or DC for a while. Yeah. Then that other dude, Matt Patricia,
was DC, and then he went to the Lions, and then Dan Campbell went and showed him actually how to coach.
I wouldn't be surprised if he or like where's Mike Daniels at, or Mike McDaniels?
Oh, I don't know.
Where's that guy at?
I think he got fired from the Broncos, and I don't know if he in.
He went back. I think
Vegas?
after the Broncos.
Is he in Vegas? Maybe
he is. He is the head coach of Vegas. I think.
So he might get fired.
No, he's not the head coach. No, he lost his job to
Antonio Pierce.
Antonio Pierce.
So maybe he was the coach in Vegas and then lost it. But either way, but who knows? Who knows who they bring in? So we'll see what's going on there.
That's definitely a story to follow.
We'll sidetrack that because we're speed running right now.
Yeah.
We'll go from there to UNC basketball. I'm not feeling that great about UNC basketball right now. We are 5-4. We barely beat Georgia Tech. We have now, to our credit, we literally have opened up the season playing you guys, playing Auburn, who's number 2 right now, playing. We played another top 10 team, Alabama, and who was the other team we lost to? I guess where we lost to another top team, but our 3 of our 4 losses, I definitely know are against top 10 teams.
Yeah.
So like, it's just our front court, bro, is awful. Like we don't, they are not the typical Carolina getting the rebounds, being able to, feed us more for our guards. Like it's new school ball players. Yeah.
Just want to shoot threes, probably.
Well, I mean, they're just small. Like we don't have a big guy. Like all of our guys are like 6'10" and below. So like when Hunter Dickinson comes out there and he's 7'2" or whatever,
7'2", 26-year-old man, balling on you.
Yeah, like there's no stopping it. Like thank God Zach Edey's gone, because that would have been if we ever he would have destroyed us. So not feeling that great about Carolina right now. I mean, we definitely have time to turn around. It's just it seems like if R.J. Davis, which he has not been, is not on fire, which he's been kind of cold this season. We're not doing so hot. And then we have 2 really good freshmen in Isaiah Jackson and Drake Powell, I think are their names. And they both come off the bench. And, like, we're only probably going to get a year, both of them. I think they're both lottery projected. So it's like, I want to see these kids. Like, if we're going to be 5-4 with all these seniors, let's get these young guys out here who are dropping 12 points off the bench, shooting 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's let these guys go. And
that's like the Carolina way, isn't it? You really
it is
like you recruit these freshmen, but they don't play till probably their sophomore year, or at least if they do not a lot because you guys don't like one and dones.
But also, hey, coach. That's why we ain't getting none of the good fucking prospects because nobody wants to sit on the bench when NIL money is on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a brand new thing, and we've been able to always have a really good class of just like good college players. But now the problem is like none of the really, really good ones don't want to just wait for their turn anymore. They want to go to a program
where they get the opportunity to make mistakes.
Cooper Flag ain't sitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never was. Like where I feel like. Like I'm pretty sure Powell was like top 10. Like he was a McDonald's All-American. He was up there. So it's like, why is our young guy? So let's figure that out, coach.
Let's figure that out.
We're 5-4. Get it together.
Another college team, my Jayhawks.
Yeah,
number one team in the nation, and then we lost 2 in a row. We lost to fucking Missouri Tigers. We finally bring the rivalry back, and we lose. Yeah. They storm the court on us. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I was in a voice chat with Marty at the end of the game.
Oh,
and, like, I didn't know the game was going on, and then like he just seemed frustrated, and I was just like, "Dude, what's going on?" And he's like, "We're getting our ass kicked by Mizzou."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, I thought he was playing a video game or something." And I was like, "Oh, you play Mizzou?" He's like, "No, Kansas is." I was like, "Oh, like." I was like, y'all are losing. He's like, yeah. And I was like, and then like 10 minutes later, he was just like, like we lost. And I'm like, damn, dude, like
one of the greatest college rivalries like ever. And we finally bring it back after I don't know how long, but then we just freaking lose. And we lost to Creighton. They used to be Wichita State Shockers rival before they left Missouri Valley Conference. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hey, Doug McDermott. All right,
just embarrassing. It's we lost to WSU's biggest rival years ago, and now we lose to our biggest rival years ago. It's like we're going back in time, losing. Like what's going on here?
I mean,
frustrating.
I just also think that's basketball getting better. You know, like
it's all right.
Kids all over the world are getting better. So
that's why I think the NCAA tournaments, getting better and better as the years go on, because all these upsets used to happen still, but like now they're happening all the time. It's like they can happen at any moment in time. But
and then I don't know if you saw this. Just since we're on college basketball, the number one recruit of next year, I think
AJ something.
He's going to BYU. What the biggest pickup since Jimmer Fredette.
He could have gone to KU, dude. KU was in his Final Four, I think, or final.
Was it?
Yeah, his final.
He said he wanted to go hang out with the Mormons. So
yeah, that sucks. But hey, let him have fun over at BYU. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, he's supposed to be like a general. We say generational all the time, and it feels like every single year it's a generational talent when they're just like, these players only come once in a generation. Like I've heard this like 5 times.
And I think it's fair to say that the best player is a generational talent because of that generation, which would be that draft class. I mean,
the generation is supposed to be like 10 years or so, like 15 years.
True, but all these kids do have that potential. You know what I'm saying? Like it just depends on what happens. You know, like so. I get it. Moving on to what else we got?
NBA. Well, NBA. Actually, before we move on,
we're trying to cram a lot of news in here.
So we did the what if segment. I like that segment. We might do it again here if we got some more time with this. But if not, that we'll be back next episode when we got more time. But this next one, I do want to do a lot of these because I like these. Is player A versus player B.
All right.
Where I give Scooter a player A and a player B. And he says he also wants to guess the players who they are, but I want him to tell me which player he would prefer without knowing who that player is.
That's fine.
Because we might have bias.
I'll choose the player, and then I will tell you who that player is that I just chose.
All right. And I fear he may have seen this.
I don't think I've seen it.
If he gets this 100% right, I'm going to think he saw it.
I didn't see any of these.
But we'll see. Player A and player B, both running backs, both still in the league.
Okay.
But they've been in the league for a while. Player A, rushing yards, 600 or 6,611 rushing yards.
Is this for career?
Career, yes.
Career rushing yards.
Player B, rushing yards, 6,334 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
Player A, I'm just going to, my first, just so you know, so I don't keep saying player A. Player A, 60 rushing TDs, 52 rushing TDs.
Okay.
11,937 total yards, 11,006 total yards.
Okay.
85 total TDs, 81 total TDs.
Okay, so they're both pretty...
4.4 yards per carry, 4.7 yards per carry.
Okay.
Player A has played more games than player B, just for reference.
Okay.
If you care. Who would you rather have?
I mean, they're both so close.
They're so close.
But I want to say, so what was the grand total? One was 85 touchdowns, and one was
player A was 85. Player B was 81.
But player B has not had as many games.
Not as many games.
Do they say that number on there?
I believe I remember player A had about like 115. The other one had like 98.
Oh man,
like that. Maybe 100.
Then I would definitely go with the player with
18 more games. Sorry, player A has played 18 more games than player B.
So I would go player B. I mean, his production's higher and a season less of playing.
Yeah.
And that would be Saquon Barkley. That would be Austin Eckler. That would be hold on, Ezekiel Elliott. That would be. Oh man, hold on.
I'm surprised this guy wasn't your first guess, honestly.
Yeah,
I figured this guy would be your
Derrick
first
Henry?
guess. No, your first guess.
My first guess. Oh, Chris McCaffrey.
There you go. Yeah.
Was that number? Was that number?
player B?
Player B. Yeah, he's hurt all the time. That's why he's
Who
not
do you
playing.
think player A is?
Player A doing the same thing.
You didn't guess him yet. You haven't guessed him.
Oh, and I haven't guessed him yet. Same thing, but that'll be Alvin Kamara.
There you go. Yep. Player A versus player B. Now, I think I got one more player A versus player B.
A lot of those touchdowns are from us. You're welcome, Christian McCaffrey. We used the hell out of you. We ran you into the ground. We made you who you are today.
Damn, did I delete those photos? I just got a new phone. I think I might have deleted the photos.
He deleted the photos.
Okay.
Photos are gone.
No, I got it.
Oh, we got it.
Oh, flippity flap! I don't have it.
No freak frack.
That one be for next week. I really like this one. I can't wait to do that one. But on to the NBA.
Oh, okay. We're just moving on to the NBA.
Yep, on to the NBA.
The Celtics are still winning.
Celtics are still winning.
The Hornets are doing their usual crazy tailspin into we started off so good. This is what this is what upsets me every year. Is I feel like we come out so hot. LaMelo is having his best year of his life. He's second in the league in scoring with 31 points a game, and he gets hurt for 2 weeks. But Miles Bridges is hurt, Nick Richards is hurt, Mark Williams is hurt. Yeah, Grant Williams is hurt. Trey Mann is hurt. Our rookie now is hurt. Which our rookie, I will say, over the absence of Miles Bridges, he has been stepping up, and I've been really liking him. Now,
also, what's his name?
T.J. Sloan?
No, Josh Green. He actually started playing better a little bit too.
He's very up and down. He's very up and down.
He started shooting more shots at least.
He has, which we need him to because there's literally nobody else on the team that dude. Our it's crazy because I feel bad for Brandon Miller because there's times that he's the only one who's shooting, so it seems like he's shooting a lot of shots. But sometimes when he's out there, he's literally the only one not Brandon's doing it. The ball will get moved around, nobody will shoot, and it will just get to Brandon. And it's here you go, he's been averaging 20-something points a game this year. So, I mean, Brandon, another player that I've came around on. I wanted Scoot. Clearly, Brandon Miller was the better player. But, man, I'm just so upset with us. But I think I like Charles Lee. I think Charles Lee, he did a thing that I didn't like, which was...
He didn't... Yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Which he benched LaMelo during the playing game. I didn't like that, but whatever. We'll get over it.
He's got to check his attitude, man.
That's true.
Just because he's a star doesn't mean he gets special treatment.
Yep, and then you keep wanting me to like this trade idea for him.
I don't want you to like it. I keep seeing it.
It's a bad trade,
It's a bad trade.
It's a bad trade.
People are saying LaMelo could be traded.
So, okay. So, if we're going to trade LaMelo, okay. But I don't see what benefit that has to us. We literally have him locked down for 5 years.
Yeah.
This is his first year of his 5-year contract.
But what if the Hornets organization likes Charles Lee a lot, but Charles Lee's LaMelo's not the guy that can take us to where we need to go.
Dude, then I don't... Which
is a fair statement. Not saying that LaMelo's a bad player, but he has not even Luka. He has Luka Doncic traits in a way where he really doesn't.
Green light.
He doesn't give a fuck about defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get steals, but those steal when he's not getting those 2 steals or 1 steal a game, he's playing lazy defense.
Well, and he fouls a lot, and a lot of it is dude, it's slapping X after not getting a rebound type of it's that literally he misses a shot that he probably should have made, and he'll go and try to steal the ball and slap the hand of the player, and it's like, bro, like we didn't need that. And also the only reason why you're doing that is because you're frustrated that you missed the shot. So I mean, there are a lot of bad qualities that LaMelo has, but I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I'm probably gonna be a lifetime fan of this franchise and never see them win a championship. So
No.
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
What about the Panthers? You think so as well?
No, I think the Panthers, because the NFL
Is you can more likely?
yeah, it's more likely.
Chance.
Every 10 years we make it to a Super Bowl. Usually around about every 10 years we make it to a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
or an NFC Championship game. The Hornets have never made it past the second round of the NBA playoffs.
It is. It
So,
is tough.
and I'm
Usually
talking old Hornets too.
Yeah.
Like before we went to New
The
Orleans.
90s, yeah.
Yeah, like so we've never been a good team, and we aren't a great city for like people to like want to come and live in. So, but I love Charlotte, but there's better cities out there apparently. And there's no state tax in Texas, so you can go to a Texas team or a Florida team and get no tax. But I don't think we'll ever be able to pull that guy in without either trading away all the assets we have, which then what does that do? Like a Giannis, let's say we were to trade for Giannis, we would have to trade
that
away.
was outlandish though.
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
said you wouldn't trade Giannis for LaMelo straight up, that was crazy.
No. If it's LaMelo and Giannis straight up, and nothing else.
No, there has to be something else.
There
has to be something
okay,
else. What has LaMelo done?
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
if it's just that, then yes, I will. But I do not think our team, and this has nothing bad against Giannis, our team is not good enough to trade away every good player that we have and think that Giannis will be able to be a fun product, one, to watch, because all that's going to happen is just watch Giannis, who's not going to shoot threes, so just gather in the middle.
He just doesn't make a lot of threes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but like, just everybody hang out in the middle and wait for Giannis to miss, and then one of the second rounders we have left over is gonna
dude, people try to build a wall on Giannis and he still dropped. That man's averaged over 30, like around 30 a game for like 6 years.
He's
straight,
always had all-star. Now I'm not gonna say MVP level talent, but he's had all NBA level talent around him.
All-star.
Yeah. Well,
all-star, not necessarily all NBA.
Well,
maybe all defensive too as well. He's had all defensive players.
Dame Lillard, since Dame Lillard has not been in Milwaukee, I wouldn't say he's been all NBA, but he was an all NBA player at one time. And I mean, when Chris Middleton was playing his best ball, I'm not gonna say
he was one of the best 25 players in the
that's what I'm saying. Like, but he would definitely be up there and like one of the better players. So I mean, like, Giannis has always had a running mate that can do what he can't, which is stretch the floor and shoot the wide open three, because the team will build the wall to stop Giannis.
You don't think Brandon Miller could be that?
He would have to go, right? Like,
no. You could do LaMelo in a bunch of draft picks.
Yeah. Like, honestly, dude, watching Brandon Miller play by himself sometimes is god awful. He's so lanky and he's kind of like Kevin Durant, but I remember Kevin Durant having a much better bag. Like, it's just sometimes when like he goes to break people down, like the way he gets open is his length. He's just tall and he can jump over them sometimes. But like, it's hard for him to lose people. Like, there's so many turnovers that we have because Brandon Miller tries to lose somebody and can't, and then like the ball goes off his foot because so it's like,
I think he'll learn eventually. So I don't think KD has like the craziest bag, or even like I would say.
Well, I'm not, but
he has above average.
But
bag,
he had
probably.
moves that he knew that like would work in like
just simple moves like tween. Go to the mid-range pull, over somebody.
But there's plenty of times when Brandon goes to do that, like I said, and it's like he's fumbling around, and he just doesn't have
doesn't have the ball handle yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have that ball handle to not be like, oh, I'm Allen Iverson, but like,
is this year 2?
Yeah, this is year 2.
This is year 2. Okay.
So I mean,
people always say the third year is the year where you should see that leap for sure. Like the people that do it in the second year are built different, like Anthony Edwards or Jason Tatum for some people.
But just like the Panthers, I just want to be fun to watch.
Yes.
And even though he is aggravating and he gets a lot of dumb fouls and he takes a lot of dumb shots, man, when LaMelo Ball is on fire, bro.
Yeah.
It's electric. Like,
it is. He like the first 15 games.
Yeah.
He was setting Twitter on fire. He was just doing a bunch of crazy shit.
Crazy stuff, dude. And like his note, he doesn't jump when he shoots, so it's like he can just pull it, from. And it's just...
And now Wemby's even stealing moves from him. You see that one-legged three-pointer that Wemby did the other night?
Yeah, dude.
Taking it from LaMelo.
Dude, that one that he did, I forgot who he did it to, but it was nasty. And he's
a nasty offensive player to watch. And if don't think no matter what you guys do, you'll ever be competitive
Yeah.
like in the East, then sure, LaMelo's a great player to have, but like just his like.
Which I honestly, I don't think we ever will.
I think the East is so bad. I think Giannis could have this team above 500.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just depends on what else gotta
This
go.
team would be out of the play in the 7 to 10 range.
Yeah.
He would have him at the 6th seed. Giannis on this team right now, without LaMelo, would have this team at
That's what I'm saying.
the 6th
Straight up for Giannis and LaMelo, hell yeah.
You got to get some draft picks.
No, that's not what you just said.
But you got to get. He's a 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year,
okay,
NBA champion.
So
Finals
just
MVP.
LaMelo and draft picks.
Sure, yeah.
And I get to keep everybody else on the Hornets.
Everybody else on the Hornets. Maybe Miles.
How many draft picks?
4.
And Miles?
And Miles.
So, yeah, I do like Miles when Miles is good. The thing is now there's a thing happening where Miles is no longer number 2. That's Brandon. And it's a weird, there's a weird area where it's like, how much does Miles... Yes. Now, he has been hurt for the past few weeks, which also is irritating, but how much leeway does he give to that? But then there's problems where, like, Miles is clearly the one that's, like, on it that night, but then Charles Lee still wants to go through Brandon Miller or LaMelo, and it's just like, well, we should give our third guy, if he's 4 or 5 from 3 and 7 of 10 from the field, why are we not playing through? Like, I think that's the thing that we get stuck in, is trying to figure out who's going to be that guy, and it's clearly LaMelo, because when fourth quarter comes up, my man's stroking when he's on the court. Unfortunately,
When he's not in foul trouble.
yeah, and when he's not in foul trouble, but he will play the fourth quarter because he was in foul trouble in the second quarter with 4 fouls, so they'll save him till.
One thing. Well, we got time before we run out of time. Right at 45, we're done.
Look, maybe a few minutes after, but
Okay,
I got
all right.
yeah.
I'll try to make it.
Yeah.
But there's some NBA topics that I want to talk about. One, Nikola Jokic. Honestly, and I feel like I maybe. Is my mic working? My mic. Blah, blah, blah,
Oh.
blah, 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 blah. Did I flip it? Blah, 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 blah.
Did you unplug it?
No, it's still.
You unplugged it.
No, I didn't.
It's unplugged.
Is it?
Yeah, hold on. We're having some technical difficulties. Everybody, give me 1 second.
Blah, 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 blah. Plug it.
Try again.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're back. Sorry, technical difficulties. I probably won't edit this out because I'm going to be lazy today.
Hey, it's fun. It's fun to be.
Yeah. But one, Nikola Jokic, and I feel like I'm not getting ahead of myself, but also I'm the guy where, like, I don't feel like it all needs to be about championships, but Nikola Jokic might be one of the 10 best players in NBA history. Like, not even kidding. Like, this dude's actually fucking insane. Like, the stats I read to you, a podcast or two ago that we did, where he has better stats in 3 categories than, like, 3 players at, like, their best in him versus 3 players, and he has better stats than all of them. And then this with and without Nikola Jokic stat for the Denver Nuggets is jarring. Offensive rating, first with him, 30th without him.
Oof.
Net rating, first with him, 29th
is
without
this
him.
since he's been there?
Yeah, no, this year.
Oh,
This year right now.
Oh,
so this year especially, like, they're just showing how bad this team is. Field goal percentage, first with Jokic on the floor, 30th with him off the floor. 3-point field goal percentage, first with him on the floor, 28th with him off the floor. Assist to turnover ratio, first with him on the floor, 28th with him off.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm glad that he did win his championship. That way, he'll have that. He'll have that caveat when it comes to best players of all time.
Yes,
'cause I feel like you always need one to even get your, now. Of course, I'm not saying he's going to be near LeBron or Michael.
Yeah,
but just to be that, like, when you get past those two and you start talking about the other legends of the game.
Yeah,
Steve Nash.
Okay. Oh my gosh!
Ball.
Speaking, I'm going to get sidetracked here, but I do want to talk about one more thing after I talk about this.
Right.
But do you remember the Steve Nash baby mama drama with the Suns? I want to say it was like 2007 or 6. Where, like, so Steve Nash was married, with a girl, with a lady. I forget her name, but she was pregnant, and it was believed that Leandro Barbosa and her were having an affair.
Oh my God!
The day after she gave birth, Steve Nash filed for divorce. And then later, there was a DNA test done to assume that Leandro Barbosa was the baby or baby daddy.
Yeah.
It was Jason Richardson. You did. I remember, like, I saw it up on my timeline, and I just remember, like, ESPN, like,
I did not
briefly talking about it. but like not getting like too much into it because before they were just a sports show.
Yeah.
Now they love talking about it. If this was happening right now, they'd love talking about it. But also that was like a reckoning or realization for me, like the NBA is my reality TV show because these people, for whatever reason, multimillionaires, generational wealth, gonna set their family for life. For whatever reason, they like to all fuck the same women.
Yeah.
Like they just like the fucking the baby mama of Drake, James Harden, Blake Griffin, and one other NBA player could have possibly been the father other than Drake. But it was Drake.
Well, the thing is that she's just that woman is in the circle of all those famous people.
Yes,
so that's why they have sex.
See each other all the time.
So they see each other all the time. Drake's at every single NBA game.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know how he does it, but he's not like us.
He's not. That's good. Yeah, I just saw it on my timeline and I thought of you instantly. I was like, damn.
No, I did not.
But yeah, no, that shit. Yeah.
Poor Steve.
Leandro Barbosa and her were having an affair for a long time, and it turns out Jason Richardson was also fucking.
Damn it, Jason Richardson. That's why.
And I love Jason Richardson.
That's probably why you got traded. I wonder why you weren't there for very long. And fuck Leandro Barbosa, bro. That man was tossing your fast. Like he's very fast.
Yeah.
He's tossing your fast ass all those passes when you were leaking out and you were leaking elsewhere.
His wife.
Yeah. Wow.
Also,
7-second offense. More problem.
Sorry, two things. I'm gonna make these quick.
All right.
I honestly, Jordan Walsh might be the most talked about 55th overall pick on our podcast. I talk about him quite a bit. I feel like I use him a lot as an example.
You think he's the most talked about 55th overall pick?
It's a joke. It's a joke
Yeah.
because he's also a 55th overall pick, and I've mentioned him quite a few times. But Jordan Walsh, and I feel like a lot of people should take his. A lot of people don't do this, but a lot of people should. Jordan Walsh asked Brad Stevens and Joe Mazzulla, our general manager and our head coach, if he could spend his off days, since he signed with contracts with the Celtics, not the Maine, but he could spend his off days with the Maine Celtics. Brad Stevens granted his wish. He said, I would have just been sitting in my crib doing nothing. This is a way better alternative. So he's asking, hey, with days that I'm not supposed to be with the Celtics, can I be with the Maine Red Claws and ball out?
Yeah.
And like that's just awesome that he's like he just wants to work better on his game. He hasn't played great when he's given the opportunity, but I like that he wants to get better.
Let's talk about another 55th overall pick, Bronny James.
Oh my God, I want to talk about my stuff.
Let's talk about another 55th overall pick, Bronny James. NBA Central said that apparently if LeBron gets traded, Bronny is going with him.
Yes, but we have always talked about him retiring. That you think Bronny's going to be gone.
Well, he will be when he retires. But dude, this definitely shows it. And who's going to trade for Bronny? Who's going to trade for? Well, I'm sure somebody will trade for LeBron James
easily.
But
the Warriors going to give up everything to get LeBron.
$100 million for a 40-year-old, and then you got to take his fully guaranteed son with you too.
4 years. Fully
guaranteed. And he doesn't do away games.
Only in the G League, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah. So.
But yes, sus. But also, I don't necessarily think. Okay.
I hope Bryce is better. for his own sake, I hope Bryce is better.
We'll get into details of that next week. But one more thing.
Everyone
loves shitting on my boy Jason Tatum, and I get it. He's an easy guy to pick
on.
He's corny. He's an easy guy to pick on. Everyone thinks he's been blessed with super teams his whole career with Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Kemba Walker, and him and Jaylen Brown. And now
I wouldn't say that was a super team.
I know. Yeah. I wouldn't say it either, but people say it. Believe it or not, people say it. I just want everyone to listen to this stat and think. Also, I want to preface this by I don't like plus or minus. I think game-to-game basis it's very misleading. But for an entire season, for a career, for like 4 or 5, like multiple years, or at least like 50-plus games, I think it's a decent thing. But also, it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story all the time whether a player's bad or good. But I just thought this stat was jarring. Since entering the NBA, plus and minus with Tatum on the floor for the Celtics, plus 3,321. Plus or minus with Tatum off the floor, plus 176.
So there's still a plus team without him.
I knew you would say that. I literally knew that almost exact thing.
There's still a plus team without him. So is it an impressive stat? Sure, but when you're the best player on the team, I guess you're supposed to make your team better, huh?
Yeah, whatever.
So,
but yeah, we're going to cut this short. But anything you want to talk about outside of sports and stuff? Scooter loves Marvel Rivals.
Marvel Rivals
is the best game of all time.
Okay. It's an okay game. It's clearly overwatched.
He's the best Marvel character that's ever existed.
No, Hawkeye is a fun character to play, but he is an awful character to read about and see on television.
Still playing 2K and Zombies. And
we're for the zombies people out there. 2 for 2 on the new Easter egg. You know, we never lose when we playing Citadel Demo.
Demo.
We getting that I'm not no spoilers, but just know we walking out with what we want, which is the central artifact.
No spoilers, but the biggest spoiler.
The thing you came for at the beginning of the map. We got it. Well, actually, no. It's just an amulet. I'm sorry. I'm not.
It's so spoiled. All right, bye. Sorry, we'll be longer maybe next time. Possibly. Depends on the schedules and everything, but we're sorry for everything. Bye. I love you. Bye.
Bye.